What's going on, everybody? You tuned in to Off the Yard, man. I'm Big Lance. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like and the notification bells, man, so you can get a notification whenever I drop videos, man, if you like this type of content. We also talk about prison stories. I also get on the guitar and jam out every once in a while for my good, hard-working people. Today, I'm going to speak my mind a little bit on something that bothers me, man. It bothers me. But before we do that, let's get into it, man. Good morning. It's morning. Good morning to you. All right, man. Let's go. So, every morning, every single morning I wake up. First thing I do, a lot of people, I used to say, hey, take a minute. Get yourself together. Nah. First thing I do is I turn my phone on and I look at my phone and I start to go through my own social media accounts, and because this is, in all factuality, a job for me, as well as something I do to better myself and other people. That being said, I'll make myself a cup of coffee. I get myself together, dressed, brush my teeth, all that stuff. And the only way that you can really look at the world anymore is if you're privy to social media. And that's unfortunate. But in a way, it helps you get a clear perspective of how society thinks, right? And I will say this, that the world, especially social media, has a very poor perception of hardworking, good blue-collar folks, man. And it bothers me, because most of us come from hardworking, blue-collar families. Now, we put so much credit and emphasis on what society thinks about us, man, and how we're perceived through social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Rumble. And the working man, the man who goes out and earns that paycheck every week, drives that old Chevy, or drives that old Ford F-150, or the guy that comes to your apartment building and fixes your toilet because your husband or boyfriend doesn't know how to do it. Or when they pull up behind you on the interstate when you got a flat tire because that girly motherfucker you got sitting beside you doesn't know how to change a tire. And you got the audacity to get on a social media platform and talk about a high-value man. A high-value man. Let's go. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, I love you motherfuckers, man. If your neck is red or your fucking collar is blue, I love you. And you are the people that make this beautiful country, this world, revolve. It is ridiculous the amount of emphasis that we put on the thoughts and opinions of these people on social media. When these women get on here and they talk shit about, oh, well, if he ain't driving a Lambo or he ain't driving a Bugatti, he's not a high-value man. Meanwhile, most of their boyfriend are sitting on their couch all day playing the Xbox or the PlayStation while they go to work all day. Society is trying to dumb down the masculine male. It is. Society is trying to teach a young generation that it's okay to be fucking lazy. That it's okay to not go out there and earn that fucking dollar. I know men that look, dress, and talk just like I do who are millionaires. Millionaires. The optic illusion is a motherfucker in this day and age, man. It really is. And it's sad because you see the results in the kids that are coming up in this world, the young men that are coming up in this world. You give them a phone and they can get in there and but you give them a hammer and they look like a monkey doing a math problem. It's sad. They have no inkling or no desire to learn how to build anything with their hands. What are we gonna do 50 years, 100 years from now when this thought process has reached completion and everybody is stupid? There's a movie, man, that I really like called Bullet. Mickey Rourke, Tupac Shakur, legends in the game. Well, in this movie, Mickey Rourke's brother, who is a combat vet, suffers from PTSD, half fucking cocked, is talking to a bunch of kids, and he says, 7th carat, baby. We were the best. He said, now that was a war. Now that was a war. He said, none of this Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia smart weapon bullshit. He said, you're the only smart weapon. You're the only smart weapon. The one thing that they will never be able to replicate is human ingenuity. Construction in itself, right? Construction isn't about always building everything right. Construction is about fixing your mistakes. Construction is about fixing other people's mistakes. You're not ever going to be able to duplicate that. And the only people that know how to do that are the men and women of the blue-collar workforce. And they are the least respected in today's day and age. Why? Because they have some dirt under their nails? Or they come home in their paint-crusted overalls. Or they drive that old beat-up Chevy. But who is the first person you call? What happens when you have something break at your house? Oh, God, let me get on Angie's list. When you don't feel like cooking dinner because you're tired, you've been at your office all day or your job all day, where do you go to get food? You go to the local fast food joint with the good men and women who slave back there in those hot fucking kitchens. Or those waiters and waitresses who, despite whatever they're going through, come to your table with a smile. I think society needs to take a little more time and appreciate the people, the good men and women who make this country revolve. I get it, man. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to go chase that bag. But people, listen, your mamas and dads, your grandmothers and fathers believed in something called hard work. They believed in something called integrity. Make your work your signature. When I go out here and I put my name on something, I try to make sure that it's right. And I come out here every morning to this warehouse. And I'm looking right now, there's about 10 to 15 good, hard-working gentlemen who have the shop next to us. They're out here every morning. Same faces. Day in, day out. And you have the audacity to talk shit about these people. It is 22 degrees out here right now. And while you're in your house, flipping through your social media, 30 years old, crashed out in your mama or daddy's basement. My generation was different. My generation, we got our learner's permit at 15. We're driving by 16. Most of us moved out around 17, 18. We knew how to fix shit. We drank from a water hose. We fist fought. And we're friends later. We listened to rock and roll and drank beer. The Chronic album was very popular at this time. We are not the same. And I'm not saying everybody in the generation, because there are some hardworking young men and women out there, and to you I salute. And, you know, if it don't apply, let it fly. But I think that people hold a little too much credit to the bag. Let's get that easy bag. I've watched my kids get on their phone or their PlayStation or gaming accounts, and within minutes they've beaten a game or whatever it is that they're doing with their thumbs. But we weren't given thumbs to do this. We were given thumbs to work and build shit. That's what separates us from most of the other animal species. We have thumbs. We have a conscience. We have souls. We have the ability to build such beautiful things. The blue-collar man and the blue-collar woman are the backbone of this country. The rich get rich off of the debt of the blue-collar man and woman. That's how rich people stay rich. I don't know if you know that. They stay rich by putting the lower class, quote-unquote, in debt. But what would they do without us? What would they do without us? You would be surprised at how many women we come across on a day-to-day basis whose husbands are out doing whatever it is they do. They call us for simple shit. Fixing something that's very, very simple to fix. It's very interesting that people think that money is what makes people attractive. And in a sense it is. But you would be surprised at how many of these attractive rich men, their women will hit on one of us because for so long they have not had a real man around. There's a lot of men who are very able and capable to go out here and make a dollar who are just plain fucking lazy, and their women are taking care of everything. People can say what they want. Oh, that's a misogynist way of thinking, or that's a toxic male trait. Oh, okay, toxic male trait. Well, let me ask you this, toxic male trait people. If that door was to get kicked open in the middle of the night while you're sleeping in your bed, who do you think is supposed to run to the door? Who do you think is supposed to protect your family? The man. A woman's job is a woman's job. A man's job is a man's job. It's very simple. When I was coming up, we had two genders. Y'all have 8,575 and counting. My generation knew what bathroom to go in. This is what I'm trying to say here, is that being old school is not always a bad thing. I do understand that we have to go with the times, and it is a more technological world. But there are some things that will remain true throughout the course of the future and history. And that is that you need tradesmen. You need people to build houses. You need people to install toiletry, plumbing, and whatnot. You need people to drive your freights. There will never be flying cars. I hope you know that. We have flying cars. They're called helicopters. You need people to run those excavation machines. Absolutely. And you're right. There are women that I work with, women who are tradeswomen. Marlena, a female who works circles around most men. Yeah. Yes, she does. I do believe she'll be here today. Can't wait to see her. Has taught me a lot. Remember, man, when you're watching those social media people and they're talking, and those women are, if he ain't 6'4", makes over $100,000 a year, drives a Maserati or whatever, he ain't worth my time. What do you have to offer? What do you have to offer? Can you cook? No. You cannot. Can you clean? You will not. Will you do the laundry? Probably not. Do you do anything besides sit there with your fucking face turned up, looking for greener pastures? 90% of divorces are women leaving men. Why is that? I think it's two reasons. I think it's kind of a balance here. I think that a lot of it is the men. I think these men, these younger men, don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to provide. They will not. You can literally walk by a lot of these so-called men and talk shit to their woman right in front of them. They will do nothing. I wish a motherfucker would. But I also think that social media and people's opinionated outlooks and what these platforms try to promote, the high value man, is not such high value when you really get into the big scheme of things. When a woman is taking care of everything, having to pay people like myself to come and fix every goddamn thing in the house because Connor doesn't know how to do it. You're the only smart weapon. My relationship of 5 years is pretty much coming to an end. And in the past, I would have been very downtrodden about it, but I'm using it as motivation to become the best version of myself that I can be. The very best version of myself that I can be. It's making me work harder. And it's not for some chick. No, it's not. It's not because I want some chick. Fuck that. It's because I want to be of higher value to myself. I want to be of higher value to myself. Something I wasn't taught as a young man. I'm in much better shape than I was. I'm clean and sober. I'm learning how to budget money better, putting a little bit away, grinding on my YouTube channel, doing a lot of things that I was kind of not doing before. Because I fell into that thought process of codependency. Don't talk shit about the blue collar man and woman, man, because we are this country. Those high rises that you guys look up at all the time were built by hard, strong men. Many of them died building those buildings. Falling off non-OSHA approved scaffolding back in the 30s and 20s. Men that ate their lunch on top of a fucking support beam. Men who put in 10 to 12 hours a day and didn't bitch or cry like some pussy. Men who had a metal lunchbox with a steel thermos, hot coffee in it, not Bangs or Red Bulls. Men who ate bologna sandwiches, smoked rolled up cigarettes and chewed tobacco, drank beer on their lunch break. That was a fucking man. And shout out to the truckers. The men and women who drive all over this beautiful country, making sure that y'all get your packages. Remember that social media is just what it is. Entertainment. It's not facts. It's not the reality, young men and women. Because when 18 comes and that dad is sitting in that lazy boy, he's looking at you, I'm going to tell you what he's thinking. I'm going to tell you exactly what he's thinking, guys. He's thinking, this little son of a bitch better get something going now because I want him the fuck out of my house. Huh? You think John Wayne wanted to live up in Daddy Wayne and Mama Wayne's basement? No. You think John Rambo wanted to use Mom and Daddy's credit card? No. You think Hank Jr.? Well, maybe not Jr., but Hank Sr.? Wanted to drive Mom and Daddy's car? This country is beautiful. It can be. It's the thought process that's fucking it up. This is the red, white, and blue collar nation. When you shake that man's hand that goes out there and swings that hammer or runs that saw or works at that mill or works in that warehouse or drives that truck, and you feel the power and the grip of that man's hand, where do you think he got it from? I hate when I walk around and these youngsters are literally, and even older people now too, are so, you're a public defender. Really? Interesting. I hope you're a good public defender and not a public pretender, because I've been fucked over many times by the public defender's office. Barbara. But nothing bothers me more than when I'm walking around a Walmart, or when I'm walking around a Food Line or whatever, and these youngsters are looking down at their phones and bumping into people, being rude. Look up. Because of that old man you might have just bumped into, that little old man that you think is weak and old and feeble, might have been one of those teenagers at your age on a beach, face down in that mud and blood, fighting, shooting, killing. Because that's the way shit was back then. That man with that WW2 hat on, is the reason why you get to walk around on your little smartphone, Connor. Hey, there she goes. Anyway, Mighty Mouse said I'm a junkie. Well, I was a junkie. I don't care what Mouse says, man. I wish Mouse the best. I do. All the best to you, buddy. But that is what it bothered me this morning, man. It really fucking chaps my ass. It really grinds my gears, man. We go out here every single day, man, and I just stepped on a nail 2 days ago. Had a nail go through my foot, sticking the top out. Was at work the next day. At work today. Hurts. But not only do I need to go out here and make his fucking money, but my boss needs me. He needs me here. It's the thought process. It's in the integrity. It's the fucking just be a man and get up, dust off your vagina, and go to work. Come on, world. I'm not worried about any negative shit, man. Dust off that vagina and go to work. Let's go, man. If you are waking up today and you think that social media is going to be the answer to all of your fucking prayers, please believe me, even that in itself is hard work. Not everybody just blows up overnight. It don't happen like that. I've been doing this for years. Yet to blow up. Probably won't. But let's go. Anyway, man, that being said, much love to the Gladiator Gang. Salute to all my blue-collar men and women. And the T-shirts are being worked on, man. I actually need to talk to her in a minute about it. And as always, you beautiful, hard-working hump day motherfuckers. Stay up, stay out, stay sober, stay sucker-free, man. Let's go.